Napoli fans around the world, welcome to Napoli Talk. It's been 2 very long weeks of international football, and we are finally back for the Serie A in what is a banger game, guys. It is Napoli against Milan. Bro, how'd you get in my house?
Was just passing by. Allora?
Allora, come va, bro?
Tutto bene? Tutto
Bene.
grazie.
So I guess we're doing this with Old Heart Rossonero. Guys, you know Old Heart Rossonero, a friend of the channel. What a good season you guys are having, no?
Having a blast. Fantastic.
Well, guys, we will get into Milan as well later. If you are an Old Heart Rossonero subscriber and you are here for the first time, welcome to Napoli Talk. And guys, if you are not aware of Old Heart Rossonero's channel, go check him out later. For today's video, we will talk about 6 things, guys. 1, Conte's press conference that he's just done, a little bit the formation. 2, it's the final 9 games, guys. How is Napoli going to approach these 9 games? What do we need these players to do? Then I want to get this guy's opinion on Napoli, what he thinks as an outsider. Then number 4, man. Who did you guys give to us, man? Okafor. We need to talk about Okafor.
No, Okafor.
And 5, I want to know a little bit about Milan. What's going on there? What's going on with Ibra? And 6, predictions.
A prediction that is gonna be painful.
Predictions, and stick around for that, especially if you're a Milan fan. I think that would be interesting.
A surprise.
Right, okay, so
Alright, well.
I will do a little recap of what Conte said in the press conference.
Yes.
So they asked him, first of all, how the players are in terms of injuries and stuff like that. Guys, it seems like Spinazzola got injured in the friendly game that we played during the week. I mean, when you organize a friendly match and one of your players gets injured, that's always a shame. I'm not sure if that ever happened to Milan.
Is a sign, maybe? I don't know.
But Spinazzola, you know, he's like that. He cannot last an entire season, and he's a bit fragile. The other problem is Anguissa, who also got a little bit of a knock in his international games for Cameroon. He didn't play those games, and so they're monitoring him. It seems like maybe it was a bit too rushed because he was coming back from injury. Conte played him 10 minutes in the last game. He went to the national team, picked up another injury. Like, they need to be a bit more careful with these things. I don't know if Milan has similar situations or they've had similar situations, but like I feel like we rushed Anguissa too much.
Because you have such an important player in midfield, such an incredible player in the midfield, and it's so important. We don't have any important player, so
Reindeers.
Of course.
Come on,
well, yeah,
Reindeers.
yeah, for sure. But at the moment, I think Milan is coming with a full force in Napoli. We don't have any big players injured. But probably the reason is because they don't train enough. That's why we are 9th. Okay, so don't worry. It's gonna be.
Well, 9th is not that bad. We were 10th last year.
Well, we still have 9 matches to go. So you know, it's there is never ending in this season. I hope it's gonna be end as soon as possible. But I think you guys catching up with with the next topic. It's you have 9 matches ahead where you really have to push through because you want to win the Scudetto. I guess that's what Conte wants.
And Conte was very open about it in the press conference. He said, look, we still have to look behind us because it's not certain that we will get into the Champions League, and he's playing it down. But he said, obviously, with 9 games and you're 3 points from first spot, you also have to look forward and you have to do everything right. We have limitations with our team, but we're there. And it will be interesting to see which players Conte decides to rely on because, for example, Raspadori didn't play for the first 6 months. And then ever since Neres has been injured, we went to a 3-5-2 kind of formation. And Raspadori's been playing well. He scored the penalty with Italy. Excellent. Now what do? Like, your most informed player, do you sacrifice him now because Neres is coming back from injury and you go back to a 4-3-3, which we got better results throughout the year, or do you stick with the guy that you know is in form, but overall the team results have not been so good?
True.
It will be interesting to see what Conte does. Personally, I think we should play Neres, and I think we need someone that is able to give us the numerical advantage, someone that is able to dribble, get past players.
Sure. The very slow defense of Milan can suffer a lot on that, for sure. I think Neres could be also a solution on the second half, so maybe also. It can be a very tactical first half, and then you play him in the second half where he's a little bit more tired and with a couple of dribbling, good cross, and then a goal possibly.
I'm curious, if we have Neres on the left and you have Walker on the right, what do you think about that matchup? How do you rate Walker defensively?
I would say tactically, Walker is very, 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 very aware of the situation and he's becoming slowly a leader back there. But it is a little bit slow, in my opinion, especially defending. I know he got a high peak attacking, but defending this season in Serie A, especially with the young left wing, I saw him losing them a lot of time. So that's why maybe Neres in the second half can cause more problem on the left than the first half, where everything is gonna be like a chess game in the first half.
You
for
think?
Sure. I'm quite sure the first half is gonna be very boring. That's because with Conte on one side and Conceição very conservative on the others, they know what they are playing. Milan is not going there thinking, we're gonna win 3-0. We are going to play a game in Napoli that is aiming to win the Scudetto, so we're gonna be there. So how's Okafor? Tell me about Okafor. Okafor, is a player that we bought, when was it? A couple of years ago for...
from who again?
From Red Bull,
Salzburg.
Salzburg, something like this. Because he scored against us in Champions League. He dribbled Kalulu and then he scored a goal to Magnan. So we were like, okay, this kid is good. The reality is a player that really need to be managed in a certain way, and Pioli back then tried to play him a starter as a number 9 a couple of times. We all understood that he's not a number 9. He's playing better on the... He doesn't have... That's another thing. Like when you're so young, how old is he? 23, 24. How you cannot be fit for 90 minutes? It's just mind-blowing. Giroud was 37 last year and he was playing 90 minutes perfectly. No, Okafor, 23 years old, he cannot play 90 minutes. Come on. So he was always catching up. He always had this kind of problem, this kind of fitness problem, that we know that fitness means mental. That means you're not really there, that you want to leave something for the team. Pioli, however, was able to manage it well. I remember he scored few goals. Now don't ask me the number, but he scored few goals in the last minute because he played like from minutes 80. Leao was exhausted, so he played with Okafor. He played Chukwueze on the other side. So fresh wings come in, and eventually something will come up. I don't think now it's on loan to Napoli, 23 million, I think. I don't think Napoli will claim it back. For a 23 million, I don't think it's worth it unless you guys have 9 matches to go. And
if he somehow becomes the guy that starts scoring a few goals here and there,
it could be for sure.
I will still negotiate on that
price. Still negotiate on the price for sure. But the reality is, I followed the winter mercato of Napoli that had big names, especially after selling Kvaratskhelia. Eventually nothing came in, and Okafor came in 3 days before the match?
No, the last day.
On the last day.
On the last hour of the last day, and it was our 10th option.
By the way, it was sold.
Garnacho, Adeyemi, San Maximan, random guys in Belgium.
We sold him to a German club, and then the German club did the fitness test. He failed, so he came back to Milan.
Then we got him.
And
we got him injured. So we had to wait a few games for him to get back to fitness.
But you actually need somebody ready to go.
And we needed someone there, because then actually we sold Kvara. We're like, okay, but we have Neres these games, and then Neres gets injured, and he's been injured the last 40 days. So we didn't have Kvara. We didn't have Neres. We had an Okafor who was coming back from injury, and he's in theory now recovered, but Conte just doesn't trust him with 90 minutes. So we changed formation. Yeah. We went to a 3-5-2. We put Raspadori. I mean, it was a big problem. But I think to be fair to Okafor, when he's come off the bench, he's looked lively.
Yeah.
He has
the 15 minutes he get it.
Yeah. He makes an impact, and maybe he doesn't always make the right decision, and maybe he doesn't always produce, but he had what I noticed is that he has motivation.
Yeah.
So now it just needs to translate into something concrete.
Yes.
But for example, against Venezia, he came on 5 minutes. He dribbled someone on the left, crossed it, and if Simeone had scored, it was a tap-in, then he would have had an important assist. So sometimes, with the wingers, it's also a bit harsh, because they could provide a very good cross, but then if the striker doesn't score, they don't get any kind of mention.
I think you perfectly analyze Okafor. You don't need anything extra. That's him. That's exactly him.
Yeah. So he's an impact player of the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
and that is also his limit. His limit as a player, he can give you 15 minutes good-ish.
Yeah.
Good, not good, good-ish, and that's it. Yeah. So.
And this Milan side. So, look, we've had a horrible season last year. I don't think Milan's season is as bad as Napoli's last year. Also because we had come off of such a dominant.
True.
We went from Scudetto. So we went from first, 20 points ahead of second place to 10th.
Yeah.
Milan was not.
Your downfall is more.
Yeah. Your downfall is bad, but maybe not as bad.
Okay.
But what's been the main issue? Is it the coach was wrong? I mean, with you guys changing coach, is it what's happening behind the scenes with the owners, with Ibra, the new stadium? Is this all a distraction?
Yeah.
What's kind of the main problem? I'm sure it's a bit of everything.
Dom, honestly, I can talk for the next hour about this, because that's why
that's okay.
It. I'll make it very short. This season, it was the first season that we changed, of course, Pioli after a few years. And we set up for Fonseca in the beginning of the season. That was not really a coach that was appreciated by the fan, but also his experience in Italy was very limited, especially after coming from a season where Inter won the Scudetto during a derby in Milan. So the real fans, and I was there watching the match, and you're like, if this one was Milan from Berlusconi, we'll be like, okay, next season we have to win everything on the planet. Instead, we have this. We have a Fonseca. We don't have a real replacement for Giroud. We still have a problem with
Morata. I mean, on paper could have replaced Giroud. No,
on paper, yeah. But eventually, again, he was washed. He did a great Europeo, but he was really washed. And then Ibra, for example, this is something that you asked me before, how you see a player inside the club. The reality here is that it is a good idea, as you've seen with the Zanetti, with the Nedved back to Juventus, with the Maldini. It is a good idea because players understand that what team they have and what team culture, team culture, that's what it is. However, it depends what kind of limitation he has. So what does it mean with limitation? How much power you're gonna give him? And when you're in a club that are a strong identity where they don't want to give up their own power for another person. in this case Ibrahimovic, that he works for Milan, but he's investor into. It's a bit complicated. He's a Redbird investor. Redbird owns Milan, the Americans, with Jerry Cardinale and so on. And he doesn't have he has specific limitations.
He's an advisor.
He's an advisor.
Yeah. More than a sporting director.
Absolutely, yes. We don't have a sport director in Milan. We don't have a technical director in Milan. And because of these few limitations, the Milan downfall, it's real. The full project, just to give you an idea, the full project of Milan with the signature of the Americans Redbird, it's called Milan Futuro, which is now in Serie C and is literally going to Serie D. It's last. Yeah. And that's a full project, 100%.
That they started, they developed.
And they put their people in charge, thinking these people are good. So I think the idea, however, to put somebody that can translate or can put the team culture, somebody that can actually share the team culture.
But you think that, so if Ibra had been given more power, then he would have had a better impact.
No. Ibra has to stay as far as possible from everything related to Milan. Because then you are good or you're bad, you know.
So it's two things, right? You need first the right person, and Ibra's not the right person, and then once you have the right person, you have to have the right environment.
The right environment, correct.
Right. I think that gives us a pretty good idea of where the teams stand and all that, but I really gotta know your prediction.
The prediction now. This is the painful part, guys. This is the painful part.
I'm not gonna give my prediction.
You're not gonna give your prediction, of course not.
But I want to know.
Super. How to say that word? Superstitious. Of course, you're not gonna give it. So the Milan fans here are split because, of course, with the victory of Milan. Listen, there is Inter Udinese that, as I said previously to Dom, I'm not sure that Inter is gonna win that match. If I can do prediction, let's say a draw. It's gonna be a 1-1, in my opinion. But I hope. But then Napoli has to win, because to catch up and to bring a little bit more of pressure over Inter, to don't let them go, let's say, to a potential +6. You know, the +6 could be deadly. I mean, tomorrow night the Campionato can be pretty much over if Inter win and Milan wins. So, of course, as a Milan fan, I have to say that, of course, I hope always for the victory. But there is a part of me that tomorrow it's gonna not. How can I put this? You know, it's gonna be okay. Whatever is gonna be the result, I'm gonna be happy tomorrow. That's the reality. That's how sad Milan is now. I'm gonna be happy whatever is gonna be the result tomorrow. That's it. It's gonna be a numb match for me. Winning, losing, it's okay. Dom.
For us, obviously, if we care about the Scudetto, then we have to win. And I think we have to win the next 5 games.
Absolutely.
We need to keep that pressure on Inter, regardless of what Inter do. Even if Inter win their game, we just have to keep winning, and we have to at least arrive to the last 3 games of the season where it's still
pressure.
Because then we can see if Inter crack. Because this Inter team, to be fair, has not been put in a situation where on the final day of the season they're playing for a title, and maybe the next week they're playing for the Champions League, and maybe that pressure will get to them. But we have to mathematically be there on the final day of the season.
The season that Milan won the Scudetto, we arrived because we were there was the famous match against Bologna with the own goal of Radu. Yeah. Because Milan was ahead of 1 point, 1 or 2 points, now I don't really recall, 1 point, and they messed up that match. So there is a proof of previous crack. Now, I hope that they're not going to win anything this season as a Milan fan, so I hope that Napoli can bring home the Scudetto. And I hope to see Dom and his live stream happy, celebrating with the number 4 behind him, you know.
I've been very conservative this year. I don't know if you, but I've lived this year so differently from 2 years ago. 2 years ago, we were running away with the
Yeah.
Scudetto.
In ciabatte proprio.
Yeah, it was relaxing.
Went to the beach,
My feet
yeah.
up. I could make videos
Yeah.
of like, okay, at which game of the season are we going to win the Scudetto? Is it going to be 31 or 32? You know, I remember making those videos, and I was like looking at flights, thinking, okay, but maybe we win against Empoli, and it's like a late March, you know, or maybe we win against. I remember doing that, and obviously you can then start making videos that are a lot more lighthearted, a lot more.
Yeah.
Now I'm in the middle of a title race, and I'm tense. I'm blocked.
But that's what a title race is supposed to be, man.
I don't even know what video I should make. Should I make a video where I say, "Yeah, come on, boys, let's do it," or should I make a video where I'm like, "Calma, let's not even think about the Scudetto. Let's keep our head down. Let's lay low." It's very difficult, and that's from someone living it from the outside. Imagine the people that are in the team, how they are living these weeks. So that's why I think, you know, just keep putting the pressure and maybe intercrack. Guys, I won't make a prediction, but I will let my FIFA do the talking. I have a PS5 now, which I don't use very much because, trust me, guys, I'm not sitting and playing FIFA instead of making videos. I don't use it much, but I have it. And I want to go up against Old Heart Rossonero.
Let's do it.
And I'll let the FIFA do the talking. So 1 more minute to the video. Guys, I'll see you after the Napoli-Milan game. And make sure to subscribe to his channel if you haven't.
Dai. Forza Napoli!
Let's go.
Romelu. Lukaku ogni volta che vede ciao se lo mangia proprio.
Oh, mamma mia!
Minchia, che gol! 21esimo!
Bellissimo!
Che gol! Da lì! Classico gol da Mimmo Napoletano.
Classico gol da PlayStation, perché questo Politano non lo fa mai.
Non lo farà mai.
Guys, Politano never does this.
Incredible.
The backflip is fun.
No, lui è serbo, sì. Sì, Santi. Bello.
Bella. Come l'andata? Madonna, come l'andata, se faceva la spallata là, Pavlovic. Ah, ciao era.
Ah, ciao. Come l'andata? Forse Pavlovic faceva.
Oh. Madonna mia, Meret, guys.
Mi sa molto Mamma mia, Okafor! Wow! Non ci provare, eh?
Buttala in mezzo.
Mamma mia! Infiamma il Maradona, Okafor. Bravo Dom.
1-0.
1-0, va bene, bravo. Congratulations.
That's my prediction, guys.